Hi, my internet friends. Missed you guys. Group hug. I have been going through a little bit of a creative rut. I haven't posted to YouTube in 2 weeks. Please forgive me. I have just been uninspired by any of my video ideas. So I figured for today's video, I would just sit in my bedroom, turn on my camera, and talk. I wanted to have this video be about how I got started as an influencer. How did I get here? Where did it start? And where's it going? The last question I may not know the answer to. I would love to just share this story with you guys of how I got here. My first few intro videos on YouTube, I may have told little bits and pieces of my background story, but let's just get into it in one video, just to give you a little backstory on where I've started in my entire creative career. In high school, I took a program called Freestyle Academy. I went to Mountain View High School in the Bay Area. They had this program for juniors and seniors, which was highly creative and totally up my alley, where I got to take design classes, film classes. I learned how to edit. I learned how to use the Adobe Creative Suite, Photoshop, Illustrator. It was just really a great program for me because that was where my interests were leading me. I loved visual things, I loved video, I loved design, and I wanted to do something creative. When I was applying to colleges, I was definitely interested in going to some kind of art school, so I applied to a few, but unfortunately my grades weren't very impressive for the types of schools that I was aiming for. I deep down was kind of feeling like I probably would end up going to some kind of community college, honestly, or a state college. I wasn't really like dreaming big necessarily, and there's nothing wrong with doing either of those options. I just didn't really believe in myself at that time. I'm so grateful for my mom because my mom took it upon herself to gather all of my work from those 2 years in those creative programs in high school. She gathered all of my projects and submitted them to UCLA for me because I didn't think I would ever get in. I applied to a program called Design Media Arts at UCLA. It's a very small program. Their acceptance rate is very small. I mean, I obviously helped my mom with the application process, but she was the one that really got all of my work together, was like, no, you're applying. She did a lot of the nitty-gritty of figuring out how to send in my portfolio and all this kind of stuff. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they accepted me. I remember the morning that my mom told me that I got in, she like had seen the email or the letter and she came and woke me up. I was still sleeping in the morning. It was just like one of the happiest mornings because we were all just like screaming and the dogs were barking. I really thought it was a mistake, but I just could not believe that I got into UCLA, into this tiny exclusive art program. That's where it all began. I went to UCLA. I studied design media arts. I'm really glad that I went to college for the experience alone. I feel like I gained a lot from it. I learned a lot. I really broadened my skill set in design. I met a lot of people, and just overall, I feel that the experience was worthwhile. I really thought that I was going to be working for some startup company or some kind of design firm or something along those lines, but then, plot twist, Instagram happened. But before Instagram, rewind, I was running a blog. You may know me from Tumblr, and if you do, I love you because you've been around for 6 years or something. People always comment like that they remember me from Tumblr, and I just think that's crazy. I started a Tumblr blog and amassed a little bit of a following on Tumblr just through photos getting reposted and garnering a lot of likes, or notes they were called. I ended up deleting my Tumblr one day because there was a Q&A forum on Tumblr and people would just say mean things, and one day I was just over it. That was around the time that Instagram was just starting to take off. Things started to shift a little bit, and I can pinpoint right when the shift happened. I don't know whether it would have happened regardless, but this is how it went down. As you all know, I love to use Poshmark to list my clothing and resell it, and it's a great way to make a little bit of money, especially if you are a broke college student like I was back then. All of my girl followers are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this was the era of triangle swimwear. My friend Katie and I would obsess over buying designer bikinis. Never knew. We would buy them on Poshmark usually. Triangle was one of the first bikinis that I decided I'm going to buy this bikini brand new. I'm going to splurge on it. I didn't have a job. I didn't have more than a few $100s, if not less than $100 in my bank account at all times at this point in my life. I was barely getting by. I didn't have money to blow on designer bikinis. I decided to buy my first designer bikini, brand new, and I buy a triangle bikini. It was a bright neon orange bikini. Because it was coming from far away, I didn't know what size I would be, so I ordered a small bottom and an extra small top. The bikini came in the mail. The bottoms were way too big on me. It was very much a diaper butt situation happening. The first edition triangle bikinis were like the most full coverage bikinis in the world, and they're neoprene, so they're like an inch thick. So basically you're wearing like a scuba suit diaper. But in order to exchange it, it was just such a hassle. I would have to send it all the way back to Australia or wherever it came from, and there's shipping and there's all these issues. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna resell this brand new bikini on Poshmark. Then I'm just gonna buy the right size with the money that I get from it. I went about taking some photos in this bikini for my Poshmark, and my mom took these photos for me, as she did for a lot of my photos for Poshmark and for Instagram. At the time, I had no presence really on Instagram. Like, I'm talking like less than 10,000 followers. You know, a few people from my blog, but really not enough followers to really like ever have any opportunity come from it. I ended up selling the bikini on Poshmark and repurposing some of those photos from the photos that I took for Poshmark for my Instagram, because I was like, these photos are kind of cute. I should just like post them on my Instagram, because why not? So I did, and that was the turning point of the rest of my life. I'll put the photo here. I mean, you tell me, but I don't think it's that great of a photo necessarily, but maybe back in the day it was. Triangle reposts the photo. That in and of itself was a big deal. Back in the day, if a brand with 100,000 followers reposted you on Instagram, you were essentially Instagram famous overnight. My followers just went through the roof. The next thing I know, Triangle's reaching out to me and they say, hey Helen, we loved your photo. Actually, your photo got the most likes of any photo we've ever posted on our Instagram. We'd love to send you some free bikinis. If we sent you some free bikinis, would you take some photos for us? I jumped and screamed, and my mom was like, what's going on? And I was like, I'm getting free bikinis. I couldn't believe it was real. I felt like I was divinely blessed and that I was the luckiest girl in the world, that I was getting sent free bikinis. And that's where it all started. That was sometime in the summer. I remember getting those bikinis from Triangle. We had a family trip to Hawaii, and I took it on as life's greatest mission to get the best possible photos that I could get in these bikinis to say thank you to this brand for giving them to me. From there, you know, I built a relationship with Triangle. They kept sending me bikinis. I kept taking photos in them. Triangle was reposting these photos of me. That led to more exposure across a bunch of other accounts, brands, things, you name it. At that point, when Instagram was so new, it was just exponential growth. I was just kind of like sitting back and watching it all happen, like not knowing where it was going or what was really happening, but was just going with it. More brands would start to reach out to me, and I would start getting sent certain things, like random little things here and there. More bikinis, a lot of bikinis. I was kind of like the bikini girl back in the day. I kind of branded myself as that through this Triangle avenue. That's really where my Instagram started to grow. At this point, I'm still in school, still have like $100 in my bank account and some new bikinis. Throughout my college career, I was in a long distance relationship. Not gonna elaborate on that at all, but I was in a committed long distance relationship for 7 years. My senior year, I went through a very, very hard breakup. I was pretty depressed. I lost a lot of weight. I was, you know, spending a lot of time just in my room, in my college apartment, not eating because I felt sick to my stomach. I was so sad. I was doing anything I could to contact my ex-boyfriend or just to like keep tabs on him in a very toxic way. And then I kind of had a moment where I was like, you know what? I'm over this. I'm in my senior year of college. I'm never gonna be in college again. This is my last chance to like enjoy myself. And so I said, screw it. Around that time, I was approached by somebody who said that they wanted to manage me on social media. We did like a trial period, and she started to manage me and bring me these deals that were not necessarily like very impressive brands, but I, at this point, would have said yes to any paid post, to be honest, because I didn't quite understand the value in saying no. I just wanted to make money and didn't know that I should be trying to curate a certain feed. But at that point, you know, it was the wild, wild west. I was just trying to make a buck. So I'm doing this trial period with this manager and making a little bit of money. At that time, I think I would be getting $200 for an Instagram in feed post. I was posting for companies like tea companies. Around this time, I was coming out of my depressive state after my breakup, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it, because a lot of the issues that were happening in my relationship were surrounding my growing online presence. That was really what was breaking us up. I was kind of holding myself back on Instagram at that point. I wasn't really going full throttle. I wasn't saying yes to a lot of things because I was putting my relationship first. Even at one point during the breakup, I said that I was gonna delete my Instagram for him. I was really devoted to my relationship more than my Instagram. And so when I was coming out of this depressed state, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna say yes to everything. I'm gonna see where this takes me. Who cares? I'm young, I'm a senior. And so that was my mentality shift. I went from being super sad, crying in my room, to like, let's go YOLO. At this time, my manager says to me, hey Helen, we have a opportunity for you to go to Cabo, Mexico and shoot a commercial that will air on TV. They don't have any money to pay you, but they will put your handle on the commercial. So it'll say @Helen Owen on the commercial. And she said that that would be a good deal. I went to Cabo, and it just so happens one of the guys that was in that commercial, who was also selected by my manager, known for his role on The Bachelor, was Zach. That's where we met. We met filming a TV commercial that neither of us got paid for in Cabo, Mexico. The commercial still lives on YouTube to this day. Up until this point, I really thought I would be living a 9-to-5. There's nothing wrong with working 9-to-5 whatsoever. It was just that I didn't think I had any other potential, that I could do anything different, that I could work for myself. None of those things were even in my brain. I thought I would just go through the motions of what I was supposed to do. I didn't know that this was gonna happen, and a lot of it was timing. When people ask me like, how did I get into this, and like, how can they do it, and what advice do I have? It is a little bit hard for me to give advice when so much of my journey began with a little bit of luck and timing, but I don't want to say that the whole reason I'm here is because of luck. It took a lot of hard work from the time that I was a senior, and I decided after I graduate, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna see where it goes, and I'm gonna work my butt off to make sure that the brands that I'm working with are brands that I love, that I'm not doing any more weird, scammy tea things. I'm going to run this like a business. I'm gonna see where it goes and hopefully get to travel along the way and really get to work for myself and reach for the stars. And I didn't know what my job title was gonna be. I just knew that I was starting to get offers from brands to create content for them in exchange for dollars. The dollar amounts were going up from $200 to $2,000. From that point on, it has been me saying no to every single brand deal that didn't feel right, that I didn't believe in, to all of the opportunities that didn't feel right, in the hopes that that would be a long-term strategic move to build a presence online that was authentic, that the types of brands that I wanted to work for would be attracted to. It really was about saying no to the brands that I didn't believe in the hopes that the brands that I did believe in would notice. And I have to say, it did pay off. To really go over every single detail of every single move in my life that propelled me in my career would be a very long video. I left that management. I then managed myself for a couple years, and that was really hard, but I learned a lot of negotiation skills. I had to negotiate my own rates and take calls myself. That is a very valuable skill to learn. I learned how to write really great emails. At that point, Zach and I started dating together. At that point, Zach and I were dating. We were traveling a lot, and so I was also reaching out to hotels and planning all these trips and working with brands along the way. I really started to treat my Instagram, my online presence, as growing a brand and running a business. I've learned so much, and I've grown so much as a person. My mind has expanded in so many ways. You know, I was 21 at this time when I started basically working for myself. myself. I'm 28 now. At this point, I have so many amazing accomplishments, and whenever I get down about myself, which of course we all do, I just remember like all these things I have accomplished. I did a clothing collection with Bloomingdale's. That was one of the most amazing accomplishments thus far, and I launched a swimwear collection with PQ. I have a very exciting project in the works right now and another offer from a dream brand to collaborate with that is in talks right now. I did an amazing collection with Feet, and all of these different projects and endeavors that I'm so proud of that I have managed to do on my own. It's just Zach and I shooting everything ourselves, creating everything ourselves. We're like kind of a creative agency. We've got the social media and the creative side of it. Really getting to feel like I am using my design skills on a daily basis. I designed my website, I put together decks for brands, I design my Instagram stories. All these little elements of design that come into my life really fulfill me, and shooting campaigns and lookbooks and all these crazy cool creative things. It's really been an awesome journey. I can't believe I get to do this for a living. Finding ways to give back is my next endeavor and my next passion, and I'm going to tap into that because up until now I've just been trying to see if I can make this a successful business, and I'm so excited for what's to come. Stay tuned because there is something very exciting that I'm working on right now, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. I've been talking for hours and I'm so sweaty. I hope that I did an okay job of summarizing that, but it's kind of hard when you try and like summarize the past 6 years of your life, and so much has happened, come such a long way, and truly the social media landscape now compared to how it was when I started is so different. So it's really hard to give advice now for people that are just starting out, but I will say really find something that you are fulfilled by and that feels you. Figure out what it is that fulfills you. Figure out what it is that you have to share. That could be something as random as you're a plant enthusiast, or you're really into doing makeup, or whatever it is that you feel is exciting to you. That is gonna come through in your content. If you're just looking at what other people are doing and trying to replicate it, people are able to sniff out really quickly who's being themselves and who's not. It's also just mentally a better place to be in if you feel like you're staying true to yourself. It's been a whirlwind. I'm so grateful to be here on YouTube, and I hope that hearing a little bit of my backstory was interesting. I know it's kind of random, maybe not what you were expecting. Thanks for watching regardless. I really appreciate the fact that you made it this far in the video. That means so much to me. Please leave me a like. If you made it this far, you have to leave me a like. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about my start into the social media world and what kind of video you want to see next. I'm all open. I could film anything. I could go any direction. Should I film a handbag tour? Should I film a Los Angeles favorite places to visit and eat? Should I film another sit down video? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. Another group hug, and I will see you in the next one.